Chen Maoping, also known as San Mao, was born in Chongqing in 1943. After the Second Sino-Japanese War, her family moved to Nanjing, and later, in 1949, they relocated to Taiwan following the Communist Party victory in the Chinese Civil War. From a young age, she was clearly different from other kids and was diagnosed with a psychic illness. She stayed at her house and continued her learning journey. One of her teachers inspired her to write her own stories, and this led to the publication of her first essay in 1962. San Mao went to study to Madrid in 1967 and changed her name to Echo Chen. There, she met Jose Maria, her 16-year-old neighbor who fell in love with her and promised to marry her if she waited 6 years. Soon, she went back to Taipei and fell in love and got engaged to a German professor. However, on the day they were making the wedding invites, he died of a heart attack. After this loss, she tried to kill herself, but her parents brought her to the hospital. She decided to go back to Spain and reunited with Jose. 6 years had gone by since that promise. They agreed to get married and go live in the Spanish Sahara. San Mao's fascination with the Sahara started when she read an issue of the National Geographic. I couldn't understand the feeling of homesickness that I had, inexplicable and yet so decisive towards the vast and unfamiliar land, as if echoing from a past life, she wrote. In the Spanish Sahara, she actively engaged with the local Sori community. From befriending her neighbors to providing medical care using home remedies, San Mao demonstrated a willingness to share her knowledge while learning from the local culture. San Mao's relationship with Jose in the Sahara was the foundation of many of her essays in the book Stories of the Sahara. Their unconventional relationship became an ideal for many of San Mao's readers. One famous story is the one of their untraditional wedding. That day, Jose brought a gift to her, which turned out to be a camel's skull that he had found in the desert. I was overjoyed. This was just the thing to capture my heart. Jose was worthy of being called my soulmate, she wrote. The essay Chinese Restaurant was published in the United Daily News on October 6th with the pseudonym San Mao.
很多人以为三毛是我在家里的小名，事实上，它不是我的小名。我选择三毛做笔名呢，因为我认为，我是一个小人物。
The story became an instant success, especially among young women who found the referent in her. Her personal writings about her life in the Sahara and her unusual relationship with Jose, whom she called Heshi in Chinese, made her an icon. The political context in the Sahara at the end of 1975, after Spanish withdrawal, led to the couple to relocate in the Canary Islands. These Spanish islands near the coast of Africa became their new home for the following years and provided a new setting for San Mao's literary explorations. During her time in the Canary Islands, San Mao continued to write, documenting her experience and observations. Their fixed residence was on the island Gran Canaria, in a town near the sea called Telde. But they also spent long periods of time in other islands like Tenerife and La Palma because of Jose's work. San Mao published her first book, Stories of the Sahara, in 1976. Her fame rose overwhelmingly, even making her feel afraid of it. In Spain, San Mao didn't have any notoriety, as her books were not published until 2016, and this was something she enjoyed, as she was free of the pressure and could lead a normal life. On September 30, 1979, a tragedy impacted San Mao's life forever. Her husband, Jose, passed away in a diving accident. At that time, her parents were visiting the couple for the first time since their marriage, and had been in the island with them for a month before the accident.
他后来到河西的墓上，他隔几天会去一次，他会扑在他的坟上，用他的手去挖那个泥土。若是没有父母在那里，他早就不见了。他会跟河西一起去。
San Mao had a deep love for Spain, reflected in her writings until her death. Even after Jose died and eventually she left, Spain was always her second country. I love this country so much, and also the Canary Islands. Even if Chinese blood runs through my veins, Spain is my love. San Mao committed suicide on January 4, 1991, in Taipei. Her writings introduced Spain to her readers, and this faraway country became attainable. San Mao's influence was very profound, and her books continue to inspire new generations. Even now, more than 30 years after her death, her books and life inspire thousands of tourists to visit the Canary Islands to find a glimpse into her past. In the island Gran Canaria, the tourism board made a route called Ruta San Mao that encouraged visitors to walk to multiple sites important in the writer's life, like her house near Playa del Hombre, a tribute for the beloved writer.